Terence Bud Crawford gets a talking to from one of the top fighters in the 154-pound division, as he also gets absolutely blasted all over the internet for comments he made about Errol Spence Jr. Ericson, Lubin, and Kevin Cunningham respond, and I think it was very, very interesting response. So let's talk about that and the aftermath of Bud putting his foot in his mouth in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about Terence Crawford and the aftermath of what he has said about Errol Spence Jr. in a recent interview, talking to some people that look like they were MMA guys. He made some comments about Errol Spence Jr. not making it into the Hall of Fame, really dogged out Errol Spence Jr.'s resume, and set off a firestorm of people that reacted to Terence Crawford. And now people are co-signing what I've been saying for a while about Terence, that as it concerns Errol Spence Jr. and outside of the ring business, dude moves real shady. Now, before I get into what Kevin Cunningham said and what Ericson Lubin said, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you guys so much. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks. But let's get into this. So Terence Crawford says he doesn't know about whether or not Errol Spence Jr. is going to get into the Hall of Fame or not as his current accolades, because he's still trying to accomplish, unlike Terence, who can retire now and he would be in the Hall of Fame because, you know, the clear difference between the resumes of Errol and Terence. He also said that Errol, you know, he beat Kell Brook, but Kell Brook was coming off of a loss. He said he beat, good win for Sean Porter, but, so I don't want to hate on him. I'm just saying, that was a good win, but pretty much just dumping on the rest of Terence Crawford's resume, on Errol Spence Jr.'s resume. So Ericson Lubin comes out and says, look, man, truth be told, dude, you haven't fought anybody either. And so you probably shouldn't be talking about that. However, Terence Crawford should be, considered a great fighter because he has moved up weight classes. Also, that was something else that Terence Crawford had said, that he didn't know if Errol was going to make it into the Hall of Fame because, look, man, he's only fought in one weight class, right? Silly thing to say, but that was Ericson Lubin's stance about that. Kevin Cunningham, who was a former trainer of Ericson Lubin, former trainer of world champion trainer of Corey Spinks, said Errol Spence Jr. is one of the best fighters, a terrific fighter, one of the best fighters around, and definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame, right? So both of them reject what Terence Crawford had to say in this instance. Now, what you hear on Twitter, though, is you hear a lot more harsh responses, basically saying, look, man, Terence Crawford is ungrateful. That's the one thing that really sits out to me, is that, and this is something that has been just pretty much consistent with him, is that he is ungrateful for what other people have done for him. The fact of the matter is, and many people say this on Twitter, that Errol Spence Jr. is still more popular than Terence Crawford is. Despite the fact that Terence Crawford won, what numbers do we have to say that Terence Crawford has somehow become so much more popular than he was before, that he's more popular than Errol Spence is now? The only numbers that you can point to are numbers that don't point to that, which is the fight between he and Ismail Madmarov that did not do big pay-per-view numbers, and my understanding is lost tens of millions of dollars. So now you have Terence Crawford, who's moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, what he's doing with Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, is he's being a lot more deferential to Canelo Alvarez about what Canelo Alvarez, the things that he says about Canelo Alvarez. My personal belief that the reason for that is that he knows if he talks anyway halfway sideways about Canelo Alvarez, since the fight's not done, Canelo Alvarez is not going to do it. Canelo's not in the same situation that Errol was, where Canelo is saying, I want Terence. I promised my fans I was going to get Terence. I'm promising my fans I'm going to get Terence. I don't care if I'm in a car accident, a second car accident, have a torn retina. I'm going to fight Terence. Nobody else. No, I don't want to fight anybody else. That's what Terence was dealing with when he was fighting Errol. So he can feel free to say all the crazy shit he wants to say about Errol, right? But with Terence, with Canelo, that's the farthest thing from what's going on. He's the one that's trying to get the fight. And Canelo's like, hey, if my fans want it, cool. If they don't want it, whatever. And if they offer him whatever the amount of money, some people are saying $200 million, whatever. $200 million or whatever they're saying this is. For that, yeah, of course I'll do it, right? And, so he takes that fight. But Canelo's not going to disrespect. Terence Crawford's not going to disrespect Canelo Alvarez like he disrespects Terence Crawford. But the funny thing is going to be, and I'm telling you, wait till Errol Spence Jr. comes back. Wait till Errol Spence Jr. comes back. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame for a second, because there have been people that have come by my channel asking me what my standard is for the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame means just that, like that. It's just that. It's people who are very, very well known in the boxing world and are considered to have made great contributions to the sport. But they got to be well known and they have to have contributions to the sport. We could go to the Hall of Fame and say and write a description of it, but that's what all Hall of Fames are. When you do something and you have a major accomplishment, something that is noteworthy for the time frame that you were boxing, people will recognize that and put you in the Hall of Fame. Different people get in the Hall of Fame for different reasons. For example, Terence Crawford said that you can't get into the Hall of Fame if you don't fight in more than one weight class. Well, not true, because Marvelous Marvin Hagler spent his entire career at middleweight, and so did Gennady Golovkin. And I don't think that they're going to say, well, if you fight there for one fight, then yeah, you get in the Hall of Fame because you fought there for that one fight. But if they hadn't had that one easy fight at that weight, whatever. So anyway, Canelo has not proved this. And I'm telling you, when Errol comes back, if Errol comes back and Errol fights in Dallas Stadium, they're going to sell out Dallas Stadium. It's going to be a bunch of people there. He's going to make a lot of money, and he'll still be very, very, very popular because of the relationship he's developed with the fans and not having a reputation for being somebody that's difficult to deal with and highly ungrateful when things turn their way. Anyway, Terence Crawford is about the sorest winner that I can think of in sports history. Just a flat out sore winner. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.